Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel for this week's plan with me. Sorry you can see my oatmeal in the top right corner. It was delicious, thanks for asking. So I jump into the week by focusing on my to-dos. My big goal for the week is to get hired at a restaurant, and I applied to a couple places last week and followed up with a couple, and my big goal was again to get hired. And so in this week's priorities section, I like to try to put down some to-do items that are related to that. So I put down my general plan and backup plan. I wanted to go to a place that I know the hiring manager is there on Thursday. I wanted to go to Ventura and Burbank just to see what restaurants are there and maybe walk up and down those areas applying. And I also wanted to have a budget meeting with Lex to make sure that our finances are under control. We are running a business together, and so it's important that we get on the same page with such things, even though most of our finances are still separate. Then I move on to the personal to-do list, which is where I focus on some of my personal development goals. So I want to set aside some me time, some fun. I want to listen to an album, and I want to clean something. So every week I want to make sure that I'm picking items for that list and going to town. So this week I want to finish listening to Lemonade. That was my album for last week, and I didn't finish it because last week I don't know how much I talked about it even in the last voiceover because it's all just been a big crazy blur with my cat in and out of the hospital, and hopefully he's going to be okay soon. And for cleaning, I want to clean out my makeup drawer or my planner supplies and clean the bedroom. For fun, we're going to go to see 1917 in the theater, and eventually, I haven't written it down yet, but I'm going to go to a flower shop for my me time this week to pick out my flower and plant rewards. So first I jot down my YouTube to-dos. There are a bunch of them because the holidays and the new year and the cat and all of it. I've gotten a little behind, so I jot down the videos I want to record, which was plan with me, budget setup, budget with me, BoxyCharm, Stitch Fix, and then editing a bunch of those, doing voiceovers for a bunch of those, uploading them, finalizing them. And I also flipped back to last week to see which items I was supposed to migrate and making sure that I jot those down as well. So I still need to finalize my last Stitch Fix unboxing and my friend's unboxing, which by now you guys will hopefully have already seen and enjoyed. I like to use these colored mild liner highlighters to color code my planner and keep track of things. So pink/red is always YouTube, purple is my podcast, yellow is writing, and blue and green sort of go for that gray area of other jobs and household items and our business items because we live together, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, and we run a business. It often overlaps. So then I jot down my Friends with Benefits podcast to-dos. If you don't know yet, it is a podcast where we're watching every episode of Friends and discussing it. We talk about some behind the scenes trivia and just discuss the relatability of the show and how it has aged well or not well in certain respects. Then I have some writing to-dos. I need to send an invoice, and I want to get back to hardcore writing the book that I'm working on. And then I always have my habit and skills, which is basically my morning routine, which sometimes does not get done in the morning, but I still try to get it all done throughout the day. So that's doing a swish and swipe in the bathroom, which is a fly lady thing if you don't know, and cleaning the litter box, putting on moisturizer, doing yoga, reading for 5 minutes, spending time in my planner, and putting thought into my wardrobe for the day. Moving on to planning the week. Last week I had drawn a line to just split up the space a little bit to keep it a little more organized, and I think that is how I'm going to do it from now on because looking at my first week in this planner, it's just chaos, and I think splitting up the sides of the days will help keep it a little more organized. This week, instead of drawing a line, I used some washi tape that I've had stashed away for a while, so you can barely see it, but it's really pretty. And then on Monday morning, I took a bath. I put down this shower sticker and a little gold coffee cup to put that I want to record my plan with me and budget set up for that week. I also need to call the vet to check on Mulder, whose surgery was on this day. And then we also needed to have a business meeting to get some paperwork to our investor. And I also then put down a couple little deco stickers. So I put a little dumbbell by my yoga and a cleaning spray bottle next to my personal to-dos. So Monday, because I had the day off, it was just about tackling my big to-do list that was in front of me. And then that evening we were going to go to a movie. For my mantra for the week, my affirmation, I put down this little remember sticker and wrote, I have all the time I need. Of course, I didn't have all the space I needed to write my affirmation because of all my to-dos, but it's fine. So I put this little clock to mark down my movie tickets, which we didn't end up going because the surgery didn't go as hoped and we were both feeling a little funky, but he's doing okay now. The good news, however, is that on Monday I ended up getting one of the jobs I had applied for. They emailed me to come in, or was that on Sunday? I don't even know. It must have been on Monday. Yeah, it was on Monday. It felt like Sunday. I got an email saying to come in, so I did, and they hired me. And so you'll see later I have Thursday during the day all set aside to do applications, and now I can use that time more effectively. So that is my goal done. Moving on to Tuesday, I put this page flag to mark down my evening nannying, and I put a make today awesome with a little whistle to be like a coach, blowing a whistle, getting me into shape. I need to work on writing. So 30 minutes on the script I'm working on, 1 hour on the book. As of now, it is Thursday and I've been kicking butt. I did that and I'm feeling really good about the progress I've been making. So then on Wednesday, I put down a little to-do arrow and this work sticker to jot down my hours for that day. I ended up feeling so exhausted because on Tuesday I was a big old mess. I got the work done, then I had an audition, a callback that ended up popping up before my nannying job, and I was worried I was going to be late for the nannying job because the audition was going slowly. So I finally was able to rush and get the kid on time, and I was driving and she asked where her brother's car seat was, and I realized I had not reinstalled it after having company and driving them around. Fortunately, it all worked out. The mom was able to pick up the brother, but it was such a nightmare of a day and I was exhausted, and I was supposed to do a self-tape audition on Wednesday after work and I just couldn't. I was too exhausted. So you'll see that I put this little frame and wrote Mulder comes home. That was just a guess, but because the surgery didn't go as planned on Monday, they're going to keep him a little longer. But I put this cute doctor's appointment sticker and a little heart next to it, and he might come home Friday or Saturday instead. On Thursday, I used another page flag to mark down my nannying in the evening because I liked how it ended up looking on Tuesday. And I then put down my important page flag for where I want to apply, and I used these little sayings stickers and put down a let it be sticker just to try to be a little more zen about it, because I've been frantically worrying because the place that I did end up getting hired is the place where it's not going to throw a huge wrench in my schedule because it doesn't affect my nannying hours, and I'm so thankful that I was able to get a job there because no other restaurants have those hours. So it worked out. I also wanted to order groceries, and moving on to Friday, I realized that Friday is probably my best bet for getting my batch cooking done. So I put down this sticker that says I ate my veggies and a little bowl of fruit and nuts and wrote batch. Then, because again, this is my biggest day off of the week, I wanted to also get one of my cleaning projects done. So I put this stripy page flag and a cute little munchkin that is cleaning up. And then I put a little gold dot to mark down that I also want to get some writing done if possible, depending on how long the batch takes and the cleaning. Moving on to Saturday, I jot down some of my big to-dos, but I did forget that I also have a nannying job that day. So it's going to be a big day. I need to get back to my self-care hour because I missed it last week with all the stress and having company and all of that. So I put down a little flag for my self-care hour. Sorry, there's a truck going by. I need to record an episode of Friends with Benefits and have a meeting after that. So I think after we record on Saturdays, we're going to start having business meetings every week to send updates and to our investors and make sure that we're on track. But I also nanny 8:30 to 3:30. But usually we don't do the podcast until later in the afternoon anyway, so it shouldn't affect it too much. Oh my goodness, there's a lot going on back there. Sorry for all the noise. Then Sunday is my usual YouTube recording day, so I put this pink flag to mark it down just to try to get a little bit of my color coding in there, though mostly it's just in my to-do list that pops up. And then I also put down a little arrow to jot down some me time. I think that day is the day I'm going to go to a flower shop and pick out a couple of herbs. The herbs that I want to get first are probably parsley and cilantro because those are what I use the most, even though they're not my favorite herbs. They're just in a lot of the recipes that I make. And then I decided that I was going to get 2 plants if I got hired instead of the one that I already owe myself from the first week of the month. Although I did also treat myself with some yoga-urt ice cream this week, so I don't know. Do I deserve a second plant? I don't know. Maybe I should just cross it out and put yogurt. I'm not sure. All right, so that is it for this week's Plan With Me. And then, of course, I flip back to my monthly spread to check in on those to-dos and goals. And then not much has changed this week, except for getting hired at the restaurant. But I don't think I'd put that down as something to check off. So that is it. If you guys haven't yet, please like and subscribe, and I will be back next week with another functional plan with me. Bye.